Good morning. I say good morning because, technically, it is morning and my voice is not with me. But that's besides the point. What's with us is the Nanatsu no Taiza episode 2 about the gang stopping up in a town famous for its drinks and all that stuff. However, the river that they use water in order to brew alcohol has dried up. The reason for that is that a holy knight has stuck a sword and stopped the flow of the water. Quite a cruel knight, if you ask me. But the thing is, earlier Meliodas had given Elisabeth some new, pretty fan service clothing, and have not told her why he is wanted. Well, Meliodas seems like a mysterious person, so yeah, it's obvious he will never tell. But back into the town, it revealed that the sword that everyone tries to pull up can only be pulled up by a holy knight, and that a little bratty half-pint had made up a lie that caused all this situation. Meliodas takes away that brat, and Elisabeth talks to the townspeople, and they heard that apparently he lost his parents and have been envious of others' families, so he's make up lies in order to, well, create his situation, you could almost say. But also, once upon a time, the Holy Knight that pulled the sword insulted their alcohol. So Meliodas threw a worm into his drink. In anger, the Holy Knight then used his sword. In a way, this situation is his fault, but at the same time, he wanted to defend his town's reputation of being of their drinks. As two arrogant knights that are not holy appears, mock the people for their lack of paying taxes, the people get even more desperate to pull out the sword. It was also revealed earlier that Twigo that they fought was not a real holy knight. He was apparently, because a holy knight's power is not is many times stronger than that of Twigo. Then that means that the holy knights are more destructive than we think. Elsewhere, though, as the people decides to forgive the brat because, well, they're right with the fact that he only wanted to avenge their reputation. As they all try to pull it, the knights just laugh at them. But then Meliodas appears, steals the knights' drinks, and then surprisingly, in just one turn, pulls up the sword. A sword only a holy knight can pull. Given to the fact that he may have been a holy knight, I mean, he was a member of the seven deadly sins that serve the kingdom. Isn't that the same as a holy knight? He could pull it up. He then gives the swords to the knights as the water flows back up. Elsewhere, the holy knight that pulled in the sword hears the rumors. He decides to do a test. He borrows a spear, imbued him with his apparently magical power that is of lightning, and throws it. This knight name, which has a pink hair and a long body, his name is Gil Thunder. He throws the spear, but Meliodas senses it, so he walks outside the bar. And when Elisabeth laments the fact that she's powerless and all this stuff, Meliodas gives her encouragement. And then after, he catches the spear in a pretty badass way, and then answers by throwing that spear away. He then gets information, though, that the seven deadly sin member may be in the forest of the white dreams. So Elisabeth and Meliodas the next day head there. Elsewhere, as Gil Thunder is reading, he suddenly senses something, and the spear that he threw, that Meliodas threw back, crashes into the castle and collapses it. And narrowly missing Gil Thunder, or more the fact that Gil Thunder just did this and just got a scratch. Smiling, he says, "So you are alive, seven deadly sins, Meliodas." The Elisabeth and then Melidoras is now on to a new stage. What can I say? Well, still don't really like the fact that people call Melidoras a brat, and he still says, I'm not a brat. So then what is he? And another thing, I actually think his pronunciations should be different. But what else about this chapter? Well, this episode, not so much complaints. Give me thoughts if you have any.